What's shaking, guys? CJ from High Tide Lacrosse, and we have another head review today for you. And today we are going to be reviewing the Nike Alpha Lacrosse head. So Nike is obviously one of the world's biggest sports retailers, and they broke into the lacrosse world with the Nike, the Lakota, and the Vapor. Two amazing heads. I actually have a Lakota hanging right out off screen there. So the Alpha is their first attempt at a defensively minded head, and I'm honestly pretty impressed with this, to be honest with you. I wasn't really expecting much from this. Looking online, I see that it's only like, people are really retailing it for only like $60, $65, and I was like, oh, maybe it's not that good of a head, but we'll talk about all that. Looking at the face shape, it's very narrow. It's wide, but at the same time, it's very narrow through here, through the throat. There's almost no flare whatsoever. It's very gradual. It's almost like a funnel shape. I didn't know how that was gonna perform when I was throwing with it, but when I threw it on my stick, it actually threw amazing. Like, the ball funneled through. It made a really nice, it channeled really nice through the pocket. So the face shape is actually very nice. Just kind of looking at the overall head, it has a lot of really, really nice little aesthetic elements to it. It's got this checkerboard texture kind of in the throat, along the sidewall, where else? On the inside of the struts, it's got this really nice little checkerboard texture, which kind of gives it like a little bit more of a professional looking. Probably the most notable feature about this head is this the sidewall pattern, the strut pattern. You notice that it's only this really big, thick single strut on both sides, which is kind of unusual. Usually you'll see 2 or 3 coming down through the side. Even the Lakota has two struts up at the top. But what's interesting about this is that it gives stiffness, but it eliminates, it takes off a little bit of weight because there's only two struts, and they're actually hollowed out on the inside. It's hollow on the inside there. Getting to the stiffness, speaking of the stiffness, this is a pretty stiff head. It's not the stiffest I've ever felt in my life, defensive-wise, but still a pretty stiff head that you could still deliver some mean checks with, for sure. So the head is actually pretty simple. Just a nice solid throat construction. It says Alpha on there. It comes with a really, really fancy schmancy, swanky ball stop. Other than that, it's a pretty simply designed head, and I think that's great. I don't think we need to do anything overly complicated or anything obnoxious. So when I strung it up, it's strung up actually really, really easily, like very easy to string. The scoop holes are parallelogram shaped, so there's plenty of room. You could easily do a triangle top string if you wanted to. I just didn't do it on this. The sidewall holes are also parallelogram rhombus shaped. Made stringing really easy. I don't know advantageously what that would do for durability, because I know that it's not the strongest shape for checks. When the head moves, it might crack. I haven't read anything about that. Maybe you guys have. Comment below if you've seen anything like that. But the interesting thing was, at the top of the head, the top 3 holes are big, like real big. Like, you could probably fit 5 if you wanted to, loops through. So big, in fact, that when I was tying the top string across, I actually had to do a knot and then another knot because I was afraid it was going to fall through. So initially, when I was stringing it, I was like, oh man, I'll have to take away a few brownie points for those being too big. But then what I found out is that is actually where I strung the top shooting nylon and the shooting string through, because there was enough room. So that actually made the stringing easier than, probably this might be one of the easiest string jobs I've ever done. So if you want an easy defensive head to string, this is the one. I thought that the channel would be, I'd struggle to make a channel, but it actually came out really, really nice. Nice channel, pulled it really well across the mesh. It's a really simple sidewall pattern. I mean, it's literally SIs, and there's a stacked SI toward kind of like right in the middle of the head. To be honest, I don't know why more people aren't using this head. Is there something I'm wondering if there's something I'm missing about this, or why people aren't buying it? But $65 for a defensive head, that's a good price. I mean, it's not as cheap as like Tribe 7 heads, but that's still a really, really good price for this head, and I feel like it'd be a great defensive head, a great LSM head, because you get a little bit of flex. So if you want to go up there and rip a few, you definitely could. So yeah, if you're looking at a defensive head, I would totally recommend this head for a value head, and it's strings easy, and I was throwing with it, and it threw great. I would highly recommend this head. So yeah, Nike Alpha, not bad, better than I thought, way better. I'm very this exceeded any expectations that I had. My expectations were not very high for this head, and they exceeded them for sure. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Make sure to subscribe, hit that like button if you liked it, share this video. Get those questions in for Q&A Saturday. Any suggestions for Shoutout Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are fantastic. We can't do what we do without you. Nike Alpha U. Go get one. I'm seriously very impressed with this. I think you need to go get one. Faux show.